within your own race, and it's
Yeah.
even just as
It,
bad when you're
it really is.
experiencing it from your family. And
Yeah.
now, when I was reading, I remember that episode, and I remember when you was telling me about your family, and it also dawned on me that it's not only the dark-skinned women that's feeling mistreated or what have you. It's also the light-skinned women that's being mistreated as well. Because,
Yeah.
again, we're discussing color complex and misconceptions.
Right.
Misconceptions being that, I don't know, I'm kind of trying to figure out what is the misconception with dark-skinned people. But from what I've experienced or not experienced, or from what I've gained from when I did that Complexion blog on MySpace, the light-skinned women were being mistreated and hated on because they were seen as quote-unquote stuck up.
Yeah.
And it just shocked me because it's like they were feeling exactly what we're feeling. They were going through exactly what we're going through. The only difference is they're light-skinned.
Yeah, I have my article here in my hand. 6 people let me interview them.
Okay.
And one of them, he's actually my cousin. And it's funny because he's like one of the lighter relatives on our side, but on his mother's side, he's like the darkest.
Okay.
Because his mother, she's not mixed. I think like one of her parents was, and she's very, very fair skinned. Like his mother could probably pass if she wanted to, but she's a black woman.
Okay.
But so he's light, and he said he never really went through anything on either side, But I have a friend named Danielle. She does my hair sometimes. She's a very good hairdresser. Yeah, I'm just going to plug her in real quick while she's on my page. But anyway,
okay.
She let me interview her, and she's light-skinned, and she was lighter than the rest of her family. And she said she went through hell. I'm trying to come across her part right now, while we're discussing it. But she said she really went through hell. She was treated bad. She was called names. She was teased. And let me just find it. Just one second. Okay, that's my part of the story. I mean, you can continue while I'm looking for this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it just puzzles me how, it just don't make no sense to be able to mistreat someone because of the color of their skin, especially when it comes from a family member. And it really puzzles me because it's like, it's bad enough that it trickles down from generation to generation to generation. But around this time and day and age, we should all, be able to get over that. You know what I mean? It's like back in the day, okay, you could deal with that from the white people. But now it's 2009. You get racism still from the non-blacks, and then you got to deal with that within your own community. And it just really saddens me because, it can really mess a person up. And, I can say personally for me, when I was growing up, going to high school and middle school, it really messed me up emotionally to the point where I used to go home and stay in my room, all kind of hours. Sometimes I would go to sleep crying because of what I experienced in school. It's just something that you can get over it, but it really hurts because you don't feel like, you don't feel like you're beautiful. Even though your parents tell you, of course they're going to tell you that your parents, they're supposed to. But when you're not getting that same response from your peers, or, you've grown up thinking that, dark is just not good enough for your family members or the people within the black community, period. And it's sad. But now I can say that, I'm totally over that. I'm proud to be a dark-skinned woman, and that's something that I would, have to instill in my daughter, because she's
Right.
a dark-skinned girl, and I don't want her to go through the same experiences as as I did as a child. So I'm constantly telling her, you're a beautiful girl. She's 5 years old now, so I can like to talk to her every now and then, so she can grow up thinking that she's just as beautiful as the girl sitting next to her, no matter
Right.
what color she is. So that's definitely something that I would have to keep instilling in her, because I don't want her to go through that. You know what I mean? It's not
Right.
a good feeling. Not a good
Right.
feeling at all. And we have Virtuous in the chat room. She says she can relate. Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate, no matter what color you are, because you can be either too dark or you can be either too light. You're too light to be with the dark-skinned people, or you too dark to be with the light-skinned people, and it's even worse when it's family-related. So,
Right.
yeah, it's definitely something that, most of us can relate to anyway.
Yeah, my mother, she said she went through that. Like, she said that's why she started, wearing makeup to try to, I don't know, cover up her skin, or, she really felt bad about herself. Like, I would have never known, because, I told you, she was like the perfect picture of confidence, but I guess that was a front, you know what I mean? Because I think just until maybe within the last 10 years, she's really started embracing her, her complexion. But I've always my children's father, he's light, but that was just the way that happened. But, as a norm, I love dark men. I mean, and when I say dark men, I mean dark men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and dark skin is just so, light skin is pretty, and dark skin is just pretty to me as well, and it's just a shame, and it's just, and it goes a lot deeper. Well, someone discusses it in the article, but I found Danielle's part of it, and she was the lighter member of her household. I'm just going to read a little bit. It says, she didn't experience much of a difference within her immediate family. She says she wasn't treated differently by her parents, but she recalls an uncle who always called her Yellow instead of Yao. Her family called her Yao because her name was Danielle, and her uncle called her Yellow. So, she never liked him calling her that, and she had her grandmother to curse him out, and after that he never called her Yellow again. But, and I'm just skimming through. I'm not actually going to read it through. I'm just going to skim through. She said she remembers constant name calling by her siblings, and she always felt animosity with them, towards them because of it. And she said it was time, these are her words, there were times I felt excluded, but mostly amongst my peers. They would ask why I was so light and ask if I was mixed. And she said that before entering middle school, she was always aware that she had lighter skin. But upon entering middle school, she realized that she was actually looked down on because of her complexion and treated differently. She explains that she often felt awkward and different, but she had other light members of her extended family that she would talk to about this, and would be told things that made it seem that being light-skinned was special, such as you'll have better chances of finding a job because you're light-skinned. But she never took it to heart and allowed it to make her think that she was better or above anyone. Now, I asked her, did she ever use skin products to try to change her complexion, and she said somewhat. I asked her to elaborate, and she said that she used products to try to bring a little more color to her skin because she always felt that she was very pale. And I asked what would she like to say. Wait a minute. I asked what she would like to say to children. Wait a minute. I asked her what would she like to say to parents who have children that range in complexion. And she says, when it all comes down to it, we are all black. No matter which complexion we are, we all face the same challenges. And she would like to tell the children to know that they are beautiful no matter what complexion they are, and it all starts from within. And she goes on to say that she feels that blacks are just as prejudiced towards our own race due to color, if not more, than other races.
Exactly. And that's so sad. That's so sad.